The elevator doors slid open with a soft ding that echoed through the empty lobby. And there I was, drenched from the pouring rain outside, my keys jingling in my hand as I stepped into the warmth of my own building. But before I could even shake off the water from my coat, she was there, Karen Whitaker, the self-appointed queen of the Homeowners Association. Her face twisted in that familiar snarl of entitlement, blocking my path like a storm cloud ready to burst. "You don't belong here," she shrieked, her voice piercing the quiet hum of the air conditioner, finger jabbing at my chest. In seconds, the cops were on their way, her 911 call painting me as some intruder in my own home. All because I dared to question her iron-fisted rules. That night, handcuffs bit into my wrists under the fluorescent lights, the metallic click echoing my disbelief, as I was hauled away for nothing but existing in a space she deemed unworthy of me. My name's Marcus Reyes, a 32-year-old graphic designer who'd scraped together every penny to buy this condo in the upscale Willow Creek Towers. It was supposed to be my fresh start after a brutal divorce. A place where the scent of fresh paint and new beginnings could drown out the echoes of arguments past. But Karen, she was the HOA president. A wiry woman in her 50s with bleach blonde hair that looked like it could shatter under pressure. Always patrolling the halls like a guard dog on steroids. Her beef with me started smell a complaint about my bike in the hallway. Then my suspicious late-night deliveries that were just Uber Eats after long work hours. But that rainy evening, it exploded. I'd forgotten my key fob, buzzed a neighbor to let me in, and she caught me mid-stride. "This is a secure building," she'd yelled, her breath hot with the faint smell of peppermint gum and self-righteousness. I tried to explain, pulling out my ID, but her eyes narrowed, lips curling in that predatory smile. The cops arrived, sirens blaring, rain pounding against the glass doors like angry fists, and before I knew it, I was face down on the marble floor, the cold stone pressing against my cheek, humiliation burning hotter than any fever. In the holding cell that night, the clang of metal bars and distant shouts from other detainees amplified my rage. How could this happen? I sighed deeply, the air escaping my lungs in a ragged burst, my heart pounding like a war drum. The musty smell of sweat and regret hung heavy, mixing with the faint tang of bleach from the floors. I replayed it all the way, her voice cracked with faux fear on the phone. "He's threatening me. Send help now." Lies. All lies. By morning, charges of trespassing and assault were slapped on me, even though the only assault was on my dignity. Released on bail, I stumbled home, the lobby now feeling like enemy territory. Every creak of the floorboards a reminder of her victory. But something inside me shifted, a quiet resolve bubbling up amidst the storm of anger and shame. I wasn't going down without a fight. Days blurred into a haze of lawyer meetings and sleepless nights. My attorney, Lena Vasquez, a sharp-tongued firecracker with a no-nonsense bob haircut, slammed her fist on the table during our first consult. "This is textbook malicious prosecution," she said, her words slicing through the coffee-scented air of her office. "We'll sue for defamation, emotional distress, the works." But as we dug deeper, an unexpected twist emerged. Enter Jamal, the building's night janitor, a burly guy in his 40s with a gentle smile and a hidden camera in his mop bucket. He'd been there that night, lurking in the shadows, filming everything on his phone because, as he later confessed over greasy diner burgers, "I've seen her pull this crap before." His video captured it all, her unprovoked aggression, my calm protests, the cops' rough handling. Jamal wasn't just a witness. He was a subplot I never saw coming. A former cop himself who'd quit after a bad bust, now scrubbing floors to pay child support. His story added layers, his own bitterness toward authority. The way he'd sigh heavily when recounting how Karen had once accused him of theft, nearly costing him his job. "She's a bully," he muttered, his voice low and gravelly, fork scraping against the plate like nails on a chalkboard. That footage, gold, it humanized me. turned the tide from victim to avenger. As the lawsuit built, emotions swung like a pendulum. One moment, I'd be fueled by righteous fury, pacing my apartment, the tick-tock of the wall clock mocking my impatience. The next, doubt crept in, a cold whisper in the dark, making me sigh and slump onto the couch, the fabric rough against my skin. Nights were the worst, the distant wail of city sirens reminding me of that arrest. The phantom bite of cuffs on my wrists. Karen, meanwhile, doubled down. She rallied the HOA board, spreading whispers about my criminal background. Her emails dripping with venom that stung like acid. At a tense board meeting, the room thick with the aroma of stale donuts and tension, she stood at the podium, voice quivering dramatically. "He's a threat to our community," she declared, tears welling up for effect. But I caught the smirk when she thought no one was looking. The crowd murmured, chairs scraping uneasily, but Jamal's presence in the back, arms crossed, sent a ripple of unease her way. The subplot deepened when I discovered Karen's secret. Through public records Lena unearthed, we found she'd been embezzling HOA funds, thousands siphoned for personal luxuries like spa days and designer bags. The revelation hit like thunder, the crackle of lightning illuminating her facade. Jamal connected the dots. He'd overheard her bragging on the phone once, her laughter a sharp cackle that now echoed in my mind as evidence. This wasn't just about me. Anna Maria, it was a crusade against her corruption. My heart raced during depositions, the sterile courtroom air buzzing with fluorescent hums, her lawyer's objections barking like gunfire. Karen sat across from me, avoiding my gaze, her perfume cloying and overpowering, a mask for her crumbling empire. I leaned forward, voice steady despite the knot in my throat. "You ruined my life for sport," I said, the words hanging heavy. She fidgeted, a sigh escaping her lips, but it was forced, unnatural, like air from a punctured tire. Trials have a rhythm, a build-up of tension that coils tighter with each testimony. Ours was no different. The courtroom was a pressure cooker, the wooden benches creaking under shifting bodies, the judge's gavel a punctuation mark to heated exchanges. Lena presented the video first. Gasps rippled through the jury as pixels revealed the truth. Karen's face contorting on screen in high-definition hypocrisy. Jamal took the stand next, his deep voice resonating like a bass note, recounting his own brushes with her tyranny. "She preys on the vulnerable," he said, pausing for a breath that seemed to suck the oxygen from the room. The unexpected ally turned the tide. Jurors leaned forward, pencils scratching notes, the soft rustle of paper amplifying the drama. But Karen fought dirty. Her defense painted me as the aggressor, dredging up my divorce papers, twisting them into a narrative of instability. "He's unhinged," her attorney boomed, voice echoing off the paneled walls. I felt the sting, a flush of heat rising to my face, my sigh barely audible over the murmur of spectators. Emotions peaked, anger flashing hot, then cooling to icy determination. In a pivotal moment, I testified, my hands trembling slightly on the stand, the wood smooth and worn under my palms, describing the arrest, the humiliation. Tears pricked my eyes, voice cracking on the words. I thought my life was over. The jury's faces softened, a collective intake of breath filling the silence. The climax erupted during closing arguments. Lena paced like a lioness, her heels clicking sharply. "This isn't just about Marcus," she thundered. "It's about holding bullies accountable, about justice in the face of entitlement." Karen's side faltered, her composure cracking as whispers of her embezzlement surfaced. Lena had saved that bombshell for last. The evidence poured out, bank statements projected on screen, numbers glowing accusatory red. Karen slumped in her seat, a defeated sigh rattling from her chest, her empire crumbling in real time. The jury deliberated for hours, the clock's tick-tock a torturous metronome, until the verdict, guilty on all counts. Damages, $3 million. Plus her removal from the HOA. The gavel slammed down. A thunderclap of finality. Cheers erupting from supporters as Karen's face drained of color. Her world shattering like glass underfoot. Walking out of that courthouse. Sunlight piercing the clouds like a beacon. I breathed deeply. The fresh air tasting of victory and vindication. Jamal clapped me on the back. His laugh booming. A sound of shared triumph. Karen. She slunk away. The clack of her heels fading into irrelevance. Her bitter end a cautionary tale. In the end, it's not about the money, though it helped rebuild my life. It's about standing tall when the world tries to knock you down. About fighting back with truth as your weapon. Justice isn't always swift, but when it hits hard. Inspiring us all to challenge the Karens of the world. One courtroom at a time. And in that moment, as the city buzzed around me, horns honking in chaotic symphony, I felt whole again, ready for whatever came next.